call the meeting to order at 7:01. Everyone picked up a packet. There's your June minutes in there. If everyone wants to look through June minutes and looking for a motion. I have a motion. Can we get a second? Second, nice job, Bridget. Sorry, it was all in favor? Perfect, we moved the June minutes. Before we get into reports, I just want to introduce myself. We have some newer faces in the room. I'm Jillian Gutta, I'm the president of the Hooksett PTA. And I'm going to go around and just point out board members real quick and give them their glory. So Mary Ann Susie is our secretary. Megan Hannah is our historian. She has been our publicist. Amy is our box top coordinator. Natalie is our enrichment coordinator. Sarah Mackey is our membership. We have Mrs. Benyak and Mrs. Gallivan. They are our colleague liaisons up at the middle school. Mr. Garces. You're the principal at Memorial.
There we go.
And Laurel Plesner, fundraiser. I'm guessing, I haven't heard from Derek. I mean, he was texting me earlier, but I'm assuming. So he should be in the door any minute. They're probably handing off kids. I'm low tech. I didn't bring the TV and all that great stuff. I apologize, but I do want to show you a quick video to kind of start our night off. This is from our national president.
PTA president, and I am delighted to congratulate your PTA and school community for being a National PTA School of Excellence. You've worked hard to strengthen family-school partnerships in your community, and as a result, your PTA in school have created an environment where families feel welcomed and empowered to support their child's success. That is an incredible achievement. It's no secret. Plus schools equals excellence. Research shows that when families are engaged, it makes a positive impact on a student's learning and growth, and schools improve too. We are proud to celebrate all that you've done to give all families a valued voice in your community. National PTA will point to you, our School of Excellence recipients, to show the real value of engaging families and student success in school improvements. Your celebration begins today and continues for the next 2 years as you promote this incredible achievement throughout your school, community, and state. Hang your National PTA School of Excellence banner in a place that all your students, school staff, families, and the entire community can see. It tells a very important story, one that begins with families are welcome here, and we, families, educators, and community leaders are always working together to continuously improve this school and of every child who learns here. On behalf of the millions of child advocates we represent, thank you for all that you do for today's PTA families. You have set the bar high for schools and PTAs across the country. Again, congratulations on this prestigious recognition.
So that's Leslie Boggs. She's our national president. So that went out to all the recipients, which was really cool. Laurel and I met her. She's classmate. She's from Texas. I can tell. She was the Texas president for a while. So I wanted to share that with you. As you can see, our banners are in. Each school gets one. Each principal gets a really cool certificate. We have Steve his tonight that lets him know he has a School of Excellence, which is really cool, and a letter from Leslie Boggs. So I wanted to start there. Oh yeah, let's do some bragging because that's kind of fun.
It is fun.
So in all of New England, only 10 schools got School of Excellence. 6 of them are in Connecticut, which happens to be where the past PTA national president came from. 1 in Massachusetts and 3 in New Hampshire, and we are all 3. And it's the first time a New Hampshire school has gotten this award. First time somebody's been put out there. power of getting the award, but it's really cool. So if you did not see, we were in the Union Leader last week. I sent them the official press release and they actually called me and interviewed me, which is kind of cool. So we are going to take a lot of pictures of the ice cream social with lots of local celebs and our banner and get another press release out there making a big deal of this. So I want a motion on the floor to move financials here right in front of the camera, so you probably don't want to sit right there. Sorry, you do that every time. There's more chairs in that conference room.
So I gotta walk across the camera again.
Yep. So I'm gonna move financials to after me, and I'm gonna go first. Does that work? Is everyone cool? Okay. You have a chance to walk through the door.
I will.
Okay, Old Home Day is Saturday. We have a booth. It's our second year to have a booth. Probably, I don't know, 9 years. I think 9 years ago was the last time we had booths at Old Home Day. So I sent out a Side of Genius to the board earlier today. I would like to have people at all times at the booth. We're going to be there to push membership, obviously, and get the word out about our organization. We're going to have our banner probably there. We had some really awesome community partners donate some board games to raffle off for free from all ages. So that was really cool. New England Tech House would be one of those community members that are donating board games. So we'll have a banner thanking them and the other two community members. We'll have a lot of parent resources to hand out from nationals. And then we're kind of wondering what else do we do with the booth. Laurel and I have been throwing around some different ideas. Laurel, do you want to share some of them?
Well, I just want to give you a little background, because initially, we kind of took it as a fundraising group because we had an idea, but it involved plastic straws, and I just couldn't buy 300 ginormous plastic straws in a town that doesn't recycle the drinking part. I just couldn't, so that's on me. But I said to the fundraising group, does anybody have any other ideas? And Vanessa had the awesome idea of doing balloon animals, but I failed to convey that to the rest of the group. So we were kind of doing our own thing, and then the question got raised, what are we doing? And then a bunch of other great ideas came out. So we're kind of trying to figure out which way to go. So there's balloon animals, which would entail us having to learn how to move them. Mary Ann Susie had the awesome idea because our reflections theme is look within, to either have some little mirrors that people can decorate, or have a selfie booth, which those always go over very well, especially if you have some visual stuff. And then, what was the other one?
I think we should use it to promote reflections, because that's a program that everyone has a lot of questions about. So I like anything around reflections and family engagement. So our family resources and some selfie stations and maybe some stuff on reflections with maybe some dollar mini canvases from the dollar store or something to get people up and running with it. I didn't think was a bad idea. It's really what we want to do as a board. What do we really want to push? I think art and culture was kind of a goal when we met at our retreat this June. But I haven't really talked to our reflection chair. She's been dealing with stuff under the weather, and we're not, she's here tonight. But I'd like to promote reflections, if she's there or not. Unless anyone has any other thing that they want to do. I don't really want to fundraise per se. I want to, and I know that's not really where you guys are going with that.
Just want to break through them because it's not a budget item.
Right, it's not a budget item. So I was able to get the games from the community for free. I'd like to not spend a ton of money, but if it's to push a program, a standing program, I'd like to do that. Is people cool? Anyone have any better ideas? Does that make sense?
If we were going, how does the selfie booth work? 'Cause
So we'd have props and a background and people come and take selfies.
So not like a photo booth.
I thought it was
The
very
tree
popular.
photo
Yeah,
stations.
yeah. So we have some props. I thought it was very popular. It would be something that's fun. I mean, a lot of
Yes.
kids that run around Old Home Day. It's zero
Yes,
cost.
we start, almost every single event, we do some sort of selfie station or like photo booth session, and it tends to be the highlight of everyone's feedback.
What's-
Look within.
You got a big mirror, so they can sell that prop.
I have one of the ones that came in the board for sunscreen, which is always talking about.
Something like that, though, I mean, I think my personal feeling is fun and free things for, what group of teenagers is not allowed to do something fun and bring people over, we get their email address to send them a selfie or whether it's taking it or whatever, but we can grab membership while they're around.
Should we do something for the littles, like
I've got a huge.
actual balloons, or something they can hold?
Good, we want to. I typically bring over a table and have some toys so that they're playing. I swipe some stuff from work and bring it over for the day so that we can talk to the parents or the kids ready to come up. They Play-Doh out or map manipulators and stuff like that. But I was thinking we could get some art stuff out to get them all thinking about reflections, because reflections is pre-K through 12.
Even if it's not reflections, but at library day, they have the water field
Yep,
that they typically use for their literature.
yep. Oh, and then you do a very great cleaning for members.
So it's not, you can just, it's entertaining while you're gonna take a line or.
We like these ideas. Does anyone have anything else they'd like to add? Because it's going to be put together pretty much behind the scenes.
Do we have a Wi-Fi hotspot?
We do not. PTA does not have a hotspot. We do not pay for hotspot.
I would like to.
Somebody personally tends to bring a hotspot so that we can have the tablets going for memberships.
I'd like to have a couple of Chromebooks out just so we can have people sign up because they can do it right
Last year,
there.
I think I brought like my 2 iPads and my computer. We ended up planning on doing, like, sign up on your iPad kind of thing, or whatever, we had a couple iPads, and it got to be chaos, so we ended up just handing out paper brochures.
Yeah, but we don't have any to share.
Well, I mean, we don't need that either though. Everyone's gonna have their phone.
Right.
So we could just have a sign with the bar, with the thing
Yeah.
and say, you wanna be a member? Just point and shoot. Boom. Or go to this website.
The Scouts have a couple of card readers. I don't believe they're using that day. So they're just doing recruitment, so we could do a dip and donate station
Right,
too.
we have a card reader
So,
for the,
right, we have a couple, but we could have a couple more, I guess.
no, I mean, but we have one for the Shopify
Right,
that works with Shopify.
okay.
So, and it's chip or,
Should work, okay, perfect. Okay,
And it's
so,
supposed to be 83.
It's gonna be
The
nice.
water table does.
yeah. I have a couple of them too. So, we like that water table. We have free games to raffle off to entice people to come on over. We do a couple of Facebook videos and throw them up, say come check us out throughout the day. Membership, I have a ton of parent resources, anywhere from internet safety to healthy eating habits, you name it. National PTA's got all that stuff out right now. So we can make some copies and have that to hand out to people, for the family engagement piece and memberships. And we'll have some swag, we have some stickers and stuff we can put out, so we all cool. Perfect. Yeah, awesome. Okay, ice cream socials. So before even Old Home Day, for Old Home Day especially, Adam can set our booth up. He's willing to be there because he's gonna be there for Scouts, and set it up. But I have to run around with, my tribe. They all have stuff that morning, so I can't get there until 11:30. So I
can be
need
there.
somebody that's definitely gonna be there at the 10:30 to set it up and
Yep.
get it off and running.
I got a couple of big kids I can bring too if they need help.
Perfect. Yeah, Old Home Day, yeah. I can't be there to get it up and running this year, because one of us has to take the kids.
I'll just touch base with Adam and we'll coordinate.
Okay.
Do we wanna sell like some water or something, like some water bottles?
We have water bottles, we could bring our $5 water bottles. I can tell you that there's so many people selling that stuff that I've worked with other organizations that day that tried selling water, and it wasn't a go.
What about tiny little vodka bottles?
No, can't, it doesn't really fall within that mission, sorry.
It is a good idea.
Ice cream socials, obviously, we start talking about that, we're gonna make a big deal about it. We have reached out to our school board and SAU people to invite them to celebrate along with us. This year is different because we're doing all free ice cream, so it should make the night easy. We'll just need a small cash box in case people are hard set on doing, cash memberships.
Send those people away.
You're not gonna say no to a membership. I have teachers that don't do anything online, they pay everything in cash. It is what it is, and
That's
we
fine,
have to be flexible.
I'll bring a cash box to each night. I'm planning on being in all four, so.
So, it doesn't need to be a lot, I think that's the only thing we're gonna collect, I think it's gonna move faster, I'm hoping to catch some videos of people having a good time. We're talking about also spending money on putting out, some clusters of balloons, especially around the banner, kind of make it more of a party situation than we've done in the past. And we're pulling Disney tickets on Wednesday night, we're pulling for a laptop on Thursday night, and then the following Wednesday night, we're pulling for another laptop. So we'll make sure we video that, so we just need to talk about logistics, how we're
Yeah,
gonna pull.
are we doing it for people who are there and who are members, or just anybody who's a member?
Members.
That's
So
what I
Disney
thought.
tickets are in the first 200 members we're pulling, and then any member that has joined up until Thursday night at 7 o'clock when we're gonna pull. And then again, the following Wednesday at 7 we're gonna pull.
I will, get some sort of random number generator going, and then we can use that.
And we'll film it, we'll get it up on our social media platforms, we'll make a big deal about it. Hopefully we have the superintendent, principal, somebody fun will have a call. We'll make a big deal of that. Disney's over.
Would you do like Facebook Live for the drawing part of it?
So we
That's a
can't
good
do
idea.
Facebook Live in the schools, the firewalls block it. We've tried doing it with, over at Memorial with Mr. H pulling for us for different raffles. The IT people had Facebook Live blocked.
Yeah,
So-
Facebook is blocked, period.
We could use a VPN.
Even when we're on our phone, like my phone on my own, it won't do it. So we'll take a video and then we'll throw it up there. Like that's why we record the meetings and put them up on our website because
Jill, we might still be able to do it. I could do Facebook Live, do a VPN first. I have a VPN at home that I can turn on, and then it'll probably work through that. So we might be able to do it. Maybe we can test it out.
test it out.
I mean, if
I'd
it
be
works
ready
great,
to
if
do
not, we'll
both,
put it on
right.
YouTube later.
I would be ready to do both. Because a video on your phone is easy enough to throw on Facebook.
Speaking of members, by the way, we have 235 as of today.
The whole reason I'm here. You jumped in my thunder. Totally stole my thunder.
I made the thunder.
I know, you made the thunder.
We'll get there, okay. So does anyone have any questions on ice cream social nights? I'm gonna need board members to scoop. I'm gonna need a table, I'm gonna create a table from now till Wednesday on places in which we need help to a little display. The butterfly garden here needs help. Mrs. Lansman's looking for a family to help make that continue. So I'm gonna write up something about that and some spots that we are missing or some events that would like more members on their committee. So somebody to talk that up. I need to reach out to Mrs. Piccolo to see if she's gonna be talking up reflections. If she's not, then I'm gonna need somebody to play reflections. And we have those cool stickers we got from National when I went out to convention that has I joined the PTA. So as people come and collect their PTA cards that we have all ready to go, or they're signing up, we're stickering them. And we're gonna have a whole campaign of people who love PTA, like, we're gonna high school style it and peer pressure everyone into joining. It's gonna be awesome. So that's ice cream social in a nutshell. Collie would like our help for a laminator. Their laminator has died, a death. It's sitting, it's unusable. They can't get the maintenance contract to work. They are looking for a new laminator, so of course they have come to us. I have put our shopping guru person on it, trying to find us a deal. I don't really wanna go with the same model they currently have because they've had nothing but issues with it and it's not what Underhill and Memorial has, so I think it makes sense to have the schools all align. Their laminators are touchy at times, but don't seem to have nearly the amount, I mean, all laminators are touchy, they're a delicate beast. But they're not always, like, Matt's never works, so I know the other two are running, and we had those at Smith when I was at Smith, and it worked pretty fine, so, we've been looking out, so that's the second model I had you look
I
at.
had not had time to cite it.
So I was doing, and then I was like, I'm not having, I wasn't finding a deal, so I was hoping you were gonna find a deal. They're about $1,800. So I need, that is not a budget item for us. It is a lot of money. I'm not saying we need to fully fund it. I'm not saying we need to fund it at all. They have come to us for support. They did host the color run, which brought in a lot of money and were big participants in that. So I would like to see, I'm throwing it out, it's the will of the board. What do we wanna do? Do we wanna help out? Do we not wanna help out? How much do we wanna help out? Trying to keep this meeting to an hour and a half. This is why I'm flying to do things for people who are new. So I'm trying to respect everyone's time, but it's September, so we have a lot of stuff to go over. What are our thoughts on that?
I'm all in.
All in? Okay.
The cheapest one of the other models is 1314. That was what she did everything else. I tried everything, everything else. I did not Google the second model. But I did look for comparable models. So I think we're looking at 1342.
And the model here right now is going on Amazon and eBay and all those sites out there for between 15 and 18. But I didn't even check what the shipping cost was. I just saw the price and I was like, oh, I'm not in love. And was like, I'm gonna have Marianne, because she's pretty good at
What's
finding deals.
What's the model?
I've got
Written down, and I couldn't spout it out to you at the moment. This is in the workroom next
It's
door.
called McIntyre's, that's who we get our limited from, and they offered me something last year, they wanted me to get into a bigger one, because we wanted to have them fix it, but they don't charge us way too much money to fix the one we have.
And McIntyre is what the other two schools, it's what the district uses, and they have a different model. The
Heather
other
at
two
school,
schools.
one of them works with her, I could call and
Okay, so, yeah, McIntyre's their maintenance contract people, they're out of Concord. And I went to their website to look for said laminator, and it was $1,800.
Stupid
It was
question.
what eBay had it for, or Amazon, I should say.
Just out of curiosity, I mean, I know you said you wanted to get in the same one as the other schools.
But when I did my research and looked around for the, because it's all about like how wide you want the laminator, and the thickness and what it can do, I was willing to spend a couple $100 more to not have it in disrepair all the time.
Well, that's what I was gonna see, do you like it?
Ours?
Yours, yeah.
I've run it like twice in my career at Memorial, usually the teacher's doing that. I mean, most of the time it's running fine.
Okay.
Not
Yeah.
the plastic here, but, I mean, it's a really valuable tool, I think.
it's hard to start here.
I just didn't know if that was one we should get, or if, like, maybe
No,
we could get something.
I did
better.
talk with
We've
the
had
school
minimal problems with
secretaries.
it, and any of the problems that we've had have been user error more than anything else,
People not waiting for it to warm up, people opening things too thick.
People ripping
Would it
things
be a
off.
possibility to reach out to maybe local businesses that do that and see if they're going to be upgrading equipment and willing to donate something?
Either that too, or I'm wondering, would it make sense to reach out to the manufacturer, write them a letter, especially if we say we have 3 schools, 2 of them already have your equipment, one of them, we have a different manufacturer and we don't like it and we would love to switch to yours. Potentially, they could give us, you never know, you never know. It's worth asking.
It is worth asking. Big office equipment, they don't tend to do that type of stuff, but who knows? I know that they're dire straight for one, so whatever we decide, somebody needs to take the belly button on it and move with it.
Honest?
Because
I think we should just do it. Buy the whole thing.
I've been asked like 4 times, I was like, we haven't met yet, like, I gotta bring it to, it's out of our budget, so it's a big expense, we've gotta have a vote on it.
Given the amount we're saving on not doing all the printing and all that stuff that goes along with the handouts, I think we should do it, personally. Just $1,800, buy it, write a check.
It'd be theirs to maintenance and take care of and get the film on, do a letter of agreement like
So you
anything
have,
else with
you have a,
SAU.
company agreement that they fix it? McIntyre, the other side?
And that, we do not, so that's the school, the district, because when I went to the 2 secretaries and said, where did you get your, like, how long have you had your laminators, where did you get them from, are you happy with them? Like, I did do some of that old work because I noticed that these 2 have the same, the lower 2 have the same laminator versus the middle school. And the middle school was looking for something different, they're like very dissatisfied. So yes, who their maintenance was through, and they don't really get them maintained, they just order their film through there, it sounds like, and they'll come like once if they have a problem, is what Stacy said, it's in there once and that she can remember. And this one's down a little bit more, but I think because this is a younger school and they're making a ton more down here, that they're down. But like, they're talking about shipping out stuff to get laminated at this point.
One thing to think about, you may want to reach out to the building secretaries and have them take a look at, we have an agreement with WB Mason, which is where we get our products from, paper, et cetera. So sometimes we get some discount pricing. I'm looking at some pricing now, but I don't know which machine it is. And I'm seeing anywhere from $2,600 to $1,300 to $700. So they may be able to get in on that good pricing.
Yeah, we have an account with the WB Mason, I didn't think about.
Yeah, they cut us a deal though usually.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but we can go through the school if it's a better deal. I have no problem comparing apples to apples and oranges to oranges for things like that, because it's not in our budget. We're promising a lot of money out there this year without seeing how our fall fundraiser are.
It's gonna be fantastic.
It is gonna be fantastic. I'm not worried, but ship to home, because that's my job, is to worry garbage. Ship to
For
home.
those who might not know, as a percentage of budget, that's probably 10% of the budget.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That's, yeah. So, let's make a motion. Somebody make a motion, let's vote and see where we're at. So,
I move we purchase the laminator for.
do we have a price to go with it? Do we want to have a price to go with it, or we just?
cap maybe?
Yeah.
No more than? Yeah, because keep in mind too, not to play devil's advocate, but we do like to make sure that we do equal things for all 3 schools.
Yeah, that is their
So-
school gift for teacher appreciation,
Yeah,
like,
so if we do
they've
that,
got
then
it.
we have to make sure that we do something equal. for
But it
the
doesn't
other
have to happen every year though.
That's the thing, it's not like Christmas with your kids, like, they can handle getting this for this school one year and another school gets something else another year, let's do it by need.
We the person who can ask questions.
It's Christmas.
My kid's
No,
out of your
no,
school.
Here we
Steve,
go.
I'm sorry.
It's a bickering.
I would throw out there that, could the Underhill one die tomorrow? Could the Memorial one die tomorrow? Those, just
Right.
factors to think of. I mean, it's an important thing, but.
Once we do something for one school, we could get pulled to help one of the others.
Wasn't this breaking last year? Like, did we talk about this like last year? Did we bring it up about,
I always say I wanna buy school big equipment.
no, but I thought that we had said
Stuff,
something
that's
about
me.
it's on the fritz or whatever. So my question for that is, how much money did the school district return to the taxpayer this year?
How would the school
I
buy
can't
if the
answer.
PTA did it? How would the school buy the laminator if the PTA didn't buy it?
It wouldn't happen, they could just go without a laminator at that school. That's how it's been worded to me, it'd be 2 years because the budget for next year is pretty much already, right? So it's like a 2-year out when they think of big purchases, the way the budget cycle works. And it'd be one of the first things cut, I can tell you from watching.
Is it possible to wait till after the fall? After the fall membership?
Or at least do
Can we
it
not
on
just come
research.
over here for a couple weeks? How much laminating are they doing over there?
I don't know if he was asking people to take it to like.
I mean, they can't come more across the highway and over here and use it
Yeah, there's.
for now?
Is it back, you guys can.
We do a lot of lamination, yeah.
We also had some grants, which is someone who were
Well, they've had their teachers, they got grade level money. I don't know if a grade wants to sign over their $1,000 for a school, like. How about we make a cap on how much we want to spend, and I will continue to keep you guys in the loop via email as this goes on, and then we can do a final vote, but I need to know if it's worth my time and Mary Ann's time to contact school secretaries and see if I give them, I want this model, what can you get it through what are we, like, is it worth our time and effort to do all this if we're gonna vote it down, I guess is what I'm getting at, for the sake of time. Can I get a motion or a vote even?
We have a motion.
We have a motion.
So what, you said it was about 10% of the budget, but which figure, because we've talked about a lot of different price points, so is it the 1,500 that's 10%?
I'm just
or-
giving a ballpark, like our total budget for the year is, give or take,
Off the top of my head, I wanna say it's like 26, 28.
so it might be between 5 and 10% of the total budget of everything we do. Just as
Yeah.
a point of comparison, I mean, it's, everyone's concept of what $1,500 to an organization is different. I've worked for very small companies, who works for a very big one, yeah, just put that in your card, so. It is a big ask, in my opinion, but I do think they need it. My 2 cents is yes, but.
And then I did second motion.
We did
So
second
would
motion.
it be fair to say up to a limit of 1,700? Does that give you enough wiggle room to be able to shop?
Right, because because if it's over 1,700, I have to put it back out to the board for a vote anyways.
So, but that's, I'm
Yeah.
asking, but like, you know,
Yeah.
what's an appropriate amount to say, we think we can find something?
I would say we could replace the exact same model they have right now, which is not what they want for 1,314 is the cheapest I found it. So 1,700 would cover that, for sure. If we wanted to get the upgraded model, I didn't price that at all, I don't know. But
That's to give us money, like, comparable to
it's
what.
the exact model they had, no, the exact model that Color had.
Colleen has a
Whatever-
cheaper laminator, it's
No,
a
it's like
$1,300
And
laminator.
then it goes that high.
Yeah, it is.
That
When we
exact
went-
model was,
Maybe they got a better price, but when we went out looking for it, that was the price. The ones Underhill Memorial have are currently going at 4 different sites. I found it all at the $1,800 and change mark.
Yeah, I'm seeing 17 to 26.
Yeah,
Yeah, the cheaper model's breaking down, so we're making up for it in the expense of
Right,
having to get another one.
right. The cheaper you go, the more you're gonna have to replace it.
yeah.
Yeah, so it's not really clear.
So make your cap higher and
So,
then work.
so,
we could also
So kind of go
subsidize it up to
Up
X
to.
dollars, and if they could come up with the other.
so, all right. So you had said about, you thought we should fully fund it. Is that the general consensus? Because if I'm gonna modify my motion, I'm only gonna do it once.
Does anyone not want to fully fund it? Does
I would
anyone
just like to make
else?
sure that we got the best deal possible, so I would like to take, could we take like a week or so?
Oh, yeah,
to do
no, I'm
some
not buying
research and
anything
then
tonight.
revisit it with like actual facts.
Exactly, with actual numbers and try to do some creative thinking on it, rather than just.
I've
Because I
done
agree, I
and
think we should
review them.
100% do it, but I don't wanna spend more money than we have.
too, and I don't either. I'm not planning on going out and taking the debit card and buying one tonight, A. B, like I said, I wanna talk to see if the school now knowing that they might get a better WB Mason fight than we do, because we have an account with them, as you know, being the publicist, so I definitely wanna do our work, but I don't wanna go and do all this work for you guys to not approve it, and I don't, we say this stuff sometimes, and then it's like a month later, and we haven't really moved on things, so I'm just trying to, they need a laminator, it sounds like, so if we tell them, I think they're also needing to know if we're gonna do it or not. You know where I'm trying to go with this?
The motion could be, is it worth the research to put out to the labor code? I'd say yes.
Or could we make a motion that at this point, we plan to do a little bit more due diligence on it? It is our intention to go ahead and buy one, but we wouldn't spend over X amount of money.
That works.
I mean, I feel like we have enough of the facts. We know it's gonna cost at least $1,800 or thereabouts. I mean, is it really gonna make a difference to our decision-making process if it's 1739 or 1840?
It's 2,600 versus 17, yeah.
No, but I mean, we can definitely get
Right,
one
but
for
you can keep
1800
it
on
under
Amazon, shipped. So, I mean, that's our top price now. You know what I mean? Like, we know we can at least get it for that, so. The question is that an acceptable price? Because if it is, great, and obviously we'll try and get a cheaper one. But I mean, what is the actual will of the board? Yeah, I mean, I feel like we don't need to know the exact number to know the will of the board. We're kind of splitting hairs at that point.
Right.
I think it does matter, because can we afford it? I mean, do we have the money to budget? And the answer is, it wasn't a budget item, so.
Right now, we are doing well because we had an amazing color run. However, because we had an amazing color run, we have increased our funding at the middle school to give each grade level $1,000. We haven't seen this year's fundraising. We also added slapstick science, which wasn't part of the original budget that we adopted. So that's another $2,600 or something. So one part of our thing is we will be revisiting the budget in October and making amendments and addressing where we are at that point. I think we need the laminators in the other workroom around the corner.
Yeah.
No, that's a conference room, so I'll go all right. Don't touch the chair. Sorry.
What did we just tell the school?
Okay, so we're gonna go forward and research. We'll have an answer, let's say within a week. You'll be good with that? Yes. Does that work? Because I don't want to hold up any more time of this meeting on the laminator.
And I withdraw the motion.
So does that work? I'm all about doing our research and doing it smart. Maybe I've been doing nonprofit too long. I don't think we're gonna get a free one by writing a letter. But I think we could get some help or some sponsorship. It just sounds like they need it sooner than the rigmarole of that. So I think doing our due diligence and doing our best job shopping. If they came to us in June for the fall, I would be all about spending a whole summer hitting every door in town and doing that. One thing we could try is there's a printing company on the bypass. It's Ben Franklin. Okay. Just see, but the,
I can call actually.
okay.
I always get our programs through him.
Okay.
Yeah, so I talked to them.
See if maybe he can get us something at some ridiculous price.
Can you tell me the model for it?
I can get you that.
I have it right here. It's the, sorry, GBC Heat Seal Ultima 65.
That's all I know.
GBC Heat Seal Ultima
I have it right here.
65.
Good.
This time we'll only buy it if we get 100% of staff as members.
Call it.
I have no problem putting something on that. There, 100% staff membership at your school, and you get yourself a laminator. I mean, not that we make money on dues, but having
But we
a
want the
strong
members.
voice makes a huge difference in our power. So, okay. So that's,
We'll research more so we get data before voting, have the info back.
I tried getting you guys info, Mary and I
Yes.
are trying on that. So I plan to have that. Quickly, parent info nights. We don't have anything on the calendar for parent info nights. Boo. We need like 5, according to our bylaws for the year. So we have some grants out for some. Our membership has spoken. They would like to see somebody come in to talk about executive functioning, study habits, anxiety, all the buzz of what's going on in our society right now. I'm having a really hard time. Stevie gave me a name. She doesn't do night appearances anymore. Mrs. Mulligan has given me a name. I reached out 3 weeks ago when she gave me the name, and it's crickets back. So I'm out there looking for people. Again, we're talking about budget. We don't always want to spend big money on bringing in parent speakers for our parents in our community, but we do need some. So if anybody has any other great ideas, other
Laminated.
topics they would like to see, please email me. I have no problem doing the legwork, but I need to know what I'm doing legwork for.
My best friend's a social worker, works for mental health.
Perfect, so just email me and we'll set some up. I think I have somebody for an executive functioning. We have the district psychologist for Hillsborough County would come in. She's big on executive functioning. So I think I've got that one. It's just coordinating times and slots and making sure it aligns with what we do in our district too, because she's coming from out of district, keeping things general, making sure we're all on the same page. Because I already knew
Yeah,
so.
keep the message
Yep.
consistent with what we all want, yeah.
Right, well, it doesn't make sense for her to do something on what they do in that district, or if it doesn't, it's not stuff we do in this district. Colley's gonna pilot starting in January, Choose Love is the deal, the information I'm getting, or they're gonna do some sort of staff presentation. So we might be able to jump in and do a parent info night on that as well. Yeah, that is awesome, I use it in my classroom, Choose Love. It is a social emotional curriculum. It was created, there's a huge presentation in Auburn about it. It was created by one of the parents from the Sandy Hook massacre. So Jesse was one of the first graders, kindergartners that perished in that. His mother has worked with school psychologists at the university level down to come up with a pre-K through K curriculum that's completely free to bring into schools. All the lessons, everything. It's pretty gnarly. Our governor backs it. Our governor would like to see it in our public schools. We actually have a state ambassador at the Department of Ed for this program. So she came and spoke in Auburn last November. It was a very nice presentation, very apparent. I heard it from Carrie. And she's got it in 32 of the states right now. So I know my school are piloting it for the pre-K level for the state. And Matt just told me last week when I was there that him and one of the guidance counselors are working on it. So I was like, great, we'll jump in on that. So as a parent, when I'm away. And then lastly, real quick, before we move on to talking way too long. We have a art and cultural club starting at Underhill. Part of that art movement, we have a local artist that's gonna start like Kids Making a Difference, but art and culture with food and like culture fair at the end. It's gonna run for 7 weeks, 10 to 12 kids, first come, first to serve basis. She's going through fingerprinting and all the applications for the SAU, the rooms reserved, and the flyers should go out later this week. It's for the first and second grade. We don't do anything down at the school. So it's kind of fun and exciting. It'll be a week on hour on Fridays for like 7 weeks, and then they'll do a big expo. So they'll learn dances, culture, food. So we're really excited to get that off the ground. If you do not see on the sign-in table, there is a very nice thank you note from Mrs. St. Pierre on her grants that came in a couple weeks ago. So I put that out for everyone to see. Megan, you can take that for the book after. And on the idea of literacy and arts and culture, the library and I have been kicking around an idea for a really cool project to get off the ground. I don't know if you guys saw last year, she made some national headlines all over social media. There was a principal in, I believe it was Texas, and every Tuesday night she would get in her PJs and she would read a bedtime story. And she filmed it, she put it on, oh, you're so doing this too, don't start. And she did it on the school website or whatever, she blared it out and she did a bedtime story with her students. We thought it would be really cool to partner with the library and host, they have like a YouTube channel and host a series of these, so it's not one person doing it every week. It's get the fire chief, get the principals, get the superintendent, get them in their PJs, get them reading a book, help film it and put it up there. So there's a library of read out louds. We can partner it up. Mrs. Piccolo has a bunch of YouTube videos of middle schoolers reading, working on their fluency. She has videos of them reading picture books. So I think we could do something there and it'd be a really cool community involvement piece. It wouldn't really cost any money, it just takes some energy and then getting it out there. And it promotes literacy, which is one of PTA's biggest thing, and a partnership with the public schools. So, I like that idea. I'd like to try to see if Mrs. Dresser, Mrs. Rainier, and I could get that in motion. So Steve, you gotta start thinking of your favorite picture bar. Okay.
And jammies, you gotta get some jammies.
Just a thought too, like maybe not now, but on a separate note, Auburn's in this really cute parody on the song Justin Timberlake, and they had like the construction workers and teachers sing like the Justin Timberlake, just read, and it was so catchy, like my kids were like singing the song. So I don't know, just something like that could be really fun to do, to set to music and have like teachers and like the students reading.
Memorial did a lip sync
It
at
was
the end
really
of last
cute.
year. You roll your eye, I thought it was great. I
For the
walked
past 3
in.
years we've done it, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
and they have it on the TV when you walk in, and I love it. And I know Mr. Hollick was like, I do more and I was like, the kids need to see that, especially the males, being total goofballs. Like, so I love anything like that because I think that brings a lot of fun into our school. So I'm gonna stop talking now. I'm gonna turn it over to Derek.
Hello?
It's your turn to do your treasurer report.
Oh, I didn't know if I should just talk about whatever. I do have a 5-minute set.
Everyone's got a copy of the report and printed it, passed it for you.
I didn't even remember sending it to you.
I'll take
It's on
one, I
the
didn't
drive,
get one.
so therefore I have it.
See, you didn't stay up for nothing.
Yeah, it's good because I have a limited amount of people. So, okay, so this is my first time doing it, but it's top, we've got our accounts there. We brought in $900 over the course of August for a membership, which has got to be some kind of record. Not a whole lot of expenses to go over because it was the summertime, mostly things like preparing for the ice cream social. You can see our Chromebook purchases on there, and our purchase of the website, the badges and things like that. Not a whole lot to worry about and we'll talk about.
The two Amazon,
Yes, I was just gonna bring that up.
the two Amazon purchases are my personal.
Our president is embezzling
purchases.
funds.
I didn't switch the cards, I guess. I thought I was purchasing them on my private card, and it went on the PTA card, so I have a check for there to reimburse them to PTA for
Potter.
$30-something. Because it was a book on for PD for my teaching certificate and a fundraising book. So it's not a PTA expense; those are personal expenses.
I'm gonna need your card.
Well, it's really Amazon because
Amazon
they
Smile?
yeah, well, it was on Amazon Smile, but Amazon defaulted to the PTA card instead of my personal card.
So, we also got the Scholastic magazine purchase, which is probably the biggest one on there. Chromebooks were a biggie, survivor kits, our edible arrangement. So all told, we spent $2,000. We brought in 900, giving us a pretty great balance still. And we're paid every week for the membership. That goes into our account every week, so you'll see that in September as well. I don't have the exact numbers on me right now, but there's a, I think, 2.4% cut of each one for that. Am I missing anything?
What did we add last night? That's really cool. We'll talk about that. What did we add to our website last night that makes it so
Oh, yes,
easy?
we added a donation page. Just toxipta.org/donate will take you there, and people can, was it 10, 20, 30, 50, $100 and $200 increments? Same way you would buy something else, just same way you buy membership. Just go on there, pick something, donate, we process it through our credit card processor.
That will go with what we'll talk about in a minute, but yeah, we got that set up and running, so that's really cool, so.
There's a lot we can do on that side. It's definitely worth our money in terms of the ease of use and how many membership, how quickly we've been able to build up to the memberships that we have, which number of which I will not mention, that's just not my job.
Put it right there on the paper.
Oh, that was me. I put it on the paper,
But I think that's been a huge,
because I didn't know if you had access to
Huge
that
boost.
form yet to be able to report that number.
I know I've heard from the teachers that they love it. The teachers were really happy with it, except apparently the 3 Luddites you spoke to, who took a break from throwing their wooden shoes in the machine to write you a check.
Some people don't do digital yet, they're just not there.
But
Yeah.
I don't wanna go back, but just putting a thought, could we put it in the Hooksett banner of, hey, PTA will match the funds for the leader if you will donate here?
We could.
That way we're not funding the entire thing.
That's what I thought too. What if you put it to the community and say, hey, the middle school needs a new laminator, PTA will match whatever you raise up to $1,000.
That way the school can get some extra money, and the town's funding it,
Right.
promote the heck out of it.
I mean, if middle school parents donate $10.
And I mean, we'll have Old Home Day next week too, it's a good time to get outreach to.
and people can donate right
Broken
there,
sitting on a
digitally
table.
or otherwise.
Be the
So
same
you
time as our
have 5 bucks, you can hit it with a baseball
fundraiser.
bat.
They could do their own
Fundraiser.
fundraising.
But if we're not,
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not trying to rehash, just.
I thought we-
No, I'm just,
I thought we weren't fundraising.
Not at Old Home Day, but we're about to do a fall fundraiser. It launches in a week.
Yeah, but those are 2 different things in people's minds. I don't think they'll interfere.
Yeah, they're separate.
I mean, people buy the fundraiser stuff because their kid comes home with it and they have to.
Oh, is that the wrapping paper?
Oh, I'd rather just give you a check.
See, some people like it.
Hooksandpta.org/donate.
My kids don't get wrapping paper anymore.
Yeah, so Laurel's gonna talk about that, but that's what Laurel and I was working on last night, is the opt-out.
Hey.
Go with that, but we will talk about that.
Stealing your thunder, there's all my
That is,
thunder.
by the way, strangest opt-out I've ever heard of. Opt-out, we're still gonna bug you, but you won't have to feel
There's a
bad.
line in there that specifically says,
I know.
please understand, you're still gonna get
Right, it's
stuff.
not like we cannot
I'm sorry,
send
but
them,
go
yeah.
into a teacher and go, okay, you need to give it to everybody except Billy and John.
Oh, no, I totally get it.
We
It's
used to
just
do the
funny.
legwork of sending out the opt-out a couple weeks ahead of time and then not trying to give them the fundraiser. Then we had parents that said that their kid felt left out, they still want the fundraising packet because they want the prize. Their siblings, we all work full-time, so you get the letter with it, and if you don't want the fundraiser, you throw it away and you do that, or you throw that away and you do the fundraiser.
Send it back
Yeah,
to
you
me.
have options.
Please
But
don't
I
send
don't-
it back to me empty, or full, not, with nothing without it.
I don't think that will interfere with our fundraising at all, and I think that that's a really solid idea. Plus, it's the perfect time. Old Home Day would probably make it happen.
Okay, so that's,
I like the fact that you should have broken.
But can they tell?
I'm
They tell it's
serious.
broken?
It was the office.
Office space.
Oh, we
Maybe
can
some
show
stats
pictures.
on what-
Oh, we can make it broken.
it's sitting in
I
the
was
office
thinking
on a card
like
doing
office
nothing,
space.
you could plug it over.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And if you plug it in,
$10
it
to take a
smokes.
smack at it.
I don't know.
Liability wise, we may not want to do that, but
I
we
know.
can joke about it.
But if it's there, that's a great idea.
So I could see if we could get it for the day to put out. We could do that whole dip and donate, like donate right here on the spot towards a new laminator. This doesn't work. And we could, that's what we could plug and you'll match on Old Home Day.
This is something
We
that
just
we
gotta
always
do a
do,
banner,
but
yeah.
PTA's here.
Yeah.
There is still a timeline with it, usually
Yeah.
they need it right away.
And that sends a really strong message about what we're here for.
Yep. Okay, so we'll work out some verbiage behind the scenes at one of these nights so that we can have some signage so that it makes sense
say, should we
and that we're
print
all
up-
on the same page. So we have a script for that day. Does that make sense?
Should we print up like a little sign for it, like a banner of some kind?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're
How
gonna
long does
work.
that take?
You want me to take a picture of the old one? I mean, it's definitely falling apart and wires going everywhere.
I could print,
Is it too big to literally put it on the
It's big,
table?
it's big.
I could pick it up this week and throw it in the back of a Explorer, we could just, but that visual, that visual aspect of it though, you can't.
I can ask my principal tomorrow.
I was just gonna go
Have
down
it drop it off
there
in
one
Mary's.
day this week. I'm not always there picking up Andrew from cross country and whatnot,
Oh,
so.
yeah, you got a big car.
Yeah, I'll just put on the econ. I'll have the janitors look out there.
I love me.
Anything else financial we should talk about real quick?
That's me.
Because it's you.
No, I mean, everyone keep an eye on Jill. Shifty.
I was like, we got hacked, it can't be me,
Yeah.
the amounts didn't even
I
make sense.
can't tell you how much my eyes were rolling when you said we got hacked. It's like, don't think it was that.
I went to my Amazon cart and it
$8
was
charge,
totally
don't think we
different
got
amounts.
hacked.
They were different dates, it didn't make any sense.
No, they took an order and they split it up. But, no, it's easy enough to figure out. But,
Timing was on the agenda.
what's that?
Tax
Tax
return
it,
filing.
we're not gonna get that.
I am in the process of it.
Okay.
I'm talking to our CPA about it today, actually.
Perfect. Did you get the software company? Is that what you were texting me for? We'll talk about that offline.
I need the official IRS 501c3 letter, which is totally different from any of the
I
ones
have all
from the
that.
state. You have one from the IRS itself?
I have everything.
Because we need that so we can get our accounting software for only $50, so that our accountant can do whatever it is accountants do.
Well, he wants us to use this particular software because
Right.
it makes his life easier.
I've already signed up for all that, I just need the
Yep.
letter for them to,
Megan's
it's a
your
whole
person.
process. Cool, thank you, Megan.
Okay, right, VP is open, hint, hint, nudge, nudge, and secretary. Do you have anything? His publicist, do you have anything?
I have nothing, still trying to figure out what it is up there.
So you and I will meet up. We'll get it taken care of. Historian, what do you have for us?
Let's see, well, I just wanted to let everybody know that we applied for 2 grants over the summertime. We applied for the Be Internet Awesome grant, which is sponsored by Google. And we'd be looking at doing that one up in Collie if we got it. It's another digital safety event, but it's a lot different from the Facebook one that we won last year. It's a lot more emphasis on empathy and kindness, be internet strong, be internet kind, be internet brave. It's a really good program. So that would be a $1,000 grant to run another parent info night. But again, it's pretty competitive, so fingers crossed, we'll see. Then we also did a grant proposal to hold a STEM plus family science grant. That would be a $1,200 grant to host a science festival, and Jillian and I discussed, one of the questions they asked in the grant is how would you make your science festival special? How would you make it stand out? And one thought that we had is, you know, we're a PTA that covers 3 different schools, and we've never had one event for all, like one info night for all 3 schools. So we would have our science festival be for kindergarten all the way to 8th grade and make it one community event. So we'll see if they go for that idea.
And
But-
have stuff that's relevant.
Exactly, for every particular age. So, we did those over the summer, and they will make the announcement on October 15th, and we'll see what happens with that. The next thing I wanted to mention, so Walgreens, believe it or not, has a teacher program right now. You can nominate a teacher. They're giving away $500 gift cards to teachers around the country. Granted, it's a $500 gift card to Walgreens, but you can actually buy a lot of stuff. Yeah, exactly. They have
Instantly.
Exactly, there's a ton of stuff there. So I was hoping maybe we could nominate one teacher from, at least one teacher from each school. So if anybody has any thoughts or ideas, the essay is 200 words or less, so it's not that much. I would certainly do it. I would just like to know if anyone had any thoughts. I didn't want to just randomly pick all my son's teachers, which is probably what I would do if it were up to me.
So if you
because
have
those
a
are the
teacher
only
you
ones I
really
know.
like, email Megan so that we're not throwing names out there on video. Does that make sense?
Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
Let's see, and then I just wanted to do a quick, if you don't mind, a
Yeah.
big box tops recap, because over the summer, I met with Gina, who's our previous box top coordinator, and we sent in, this is actually not the final number that I had there, it's actually, I think, slightly north of 15,000 box tops, so we should be getting a check for $1,500 at some point in the very near future.
That's laminator money.
And box tops.
Make a suggestion, this might actually go to the process too. I had no idea, I kind of knew that it was going digital, but not really. And I saw like a Facebook post the other day about, oh, I got this app, whatever, God, that was easy. Like, you just download the app and scan your receipt.
It's
like I
not
got
that
it.
easy, and there's a lot of bugs, and it
Yeah.
depends on what
I tried to
store
do
you
it,
shop at.
Tell me no.
So
you know.
we are
Supposed to
going
be.
to push it, Amy and I met before the meeting. We're gonna push it, we were waiting for the app to work out some of its bugs, because it is on the newer side. Amy is now, literally took it over as of tonight, so she's gonna go out and do a ton of research, get herself acclimated with it, and then she's gonna help feed me and Gail, so we can put it out there in our newsletters and do maybe like a special press or special email blast just on box tops, because they are discontinued printing them. And we've already talked about how we love our 4 plus grand here on box tops, but we're probably not going to be counting it in the future budget, because I don't trust people scanning receipts, because you also have this receipts are like, you only have a certain amount of time to scan your receipt, and so. But right now, you can double dip. You can get you can scan the receipt, and if it's still like Annie's, most of their stuff's still printed, you can still send me in the printed one, so that's awesome.
And they're okay with that, they encourage it, sure.
So, right, so we are gonna wrap our brains around it a little bit more, it's been on the bottom of our, like, emergency list, if you per se, like, you know, priorities, and get something. We'll see what we can do around that. Megan, is that it?
Yes.
Laurel, here's your time to do your thunder, girl.
Sorry, I'm trying to sign up for box top.
Your good luck, it's not fast, at least it wasn't for me.
All right. Yeah, so the fundraiser is going out to Underhill Memorial on Monday, and inside there's gonna be the opt-out letter. And then we're calling it opt-out this time, to try and, I don't know, rather than direct drive. But it's gonna say this is to opt out, an envelope's gonna go with it, so they can unfortunately do paper check if they want to, or cash. But there's gonna be the link, they can do it online and donate as well, drop down menu. And it does have the note that says, I'm sorry, but you're still gonna get everything
It's
else for the
literally
rest of
going
the year.
inside there, it's going together.
But that's it, and the good awesome part, which I think Mary said before, was rather than it shipping to the school and us having to distribute it, it's gonna ship directly to people's houses with no extra cost. So,
No leaving a truck here, no breaking down pallets, no bringing boxes to classrooms, no giving up a day of work.
yeah, so that's.
Is it being sent by school?
Honestly, this is their first year. I mean, it's Meadow Farms, we've worked with them for years. I'm not sure how they're gonna do it. I think it's their own truck. So I'm not sure how they're going to decide how it gets here. They're out of Mass. They're out of Agawam, Mass, or Springfield, Mass.
So weird.
So, yeah, I'm not sure. And they also have a text to pay too program.
It's like a whole app.
So, yeah,
With
there's a,
everybody else.
I don't think it's an app.
It's not an
It's
app,
not
it's
an
just
app.
a text.
No, it's a text to pay thing. I was
Oh,
looking at it last night.
it goes to your cell phone though.
But yeah, there's a space on the actual form that shows about texting to pay. I thought it was something.
It's like when they say text, blah, blah, blah.
But yeah.
Donate, that's how it comes.
So we'll see if it works better than when the kids did. When the kids, there was no tabulation. I kept being off, and it was because they weren't accounting for the text to pay, because that went somewhere completely different.
And these are just the 2 lower schools for doing it.
Just the 2 lower
Till
schools.
October 4th.
October 4th is the end, yeah. We're gonna do one at Collie, or we're gonna do one at all 3 schools back in the summer, in the winter with fun pasta. So we thought that was more fun time to do like chili and mac and cheese, stuff like that, it's the winter. And the middle school kids seem to like that one too. So that's it for fundraising, right? Yeah. Spectacular. We had our meeting, we've had one meeting so far. Trying to think, we're all set with the fire truck. What am I missing?
Date, time, what do you need for help? Sorry.
October 26th. I need to talk to Mr. Harris's later about some, maybe pleading with you or something later. No, it's not. Let's think. Setting up the stage is extremely time consuming. And we try to get in as much as we possibly can to get it set up, and we can't get in there any earlier then after advanced band on Thursday night. So anybody who wants to come help set up the stage, we would love to see you.
Is Mary still
Oh, yeah,
part of it?
of course. Yeah, we're gonna have a brainstorming session to see, because she always likes to have there be a flow and like a story to the stage, and we've gotta do that.
The haunted stage, just in case anyone doesn't know.
Oh, yes, the haunted stage, I mean, yeah.
There's stuff for younger kids too, it's not just all groups anymore.
Right,
Night is
just
it?
sort of, like she said.
Not a night, it's a Saturday,
It's 3 to 6, it's 3 to 6 on Saturday is when the actual event happens, and we are setting up literally right until 3 o'clock on Saturday. For our party. And then there's also, all the games and things on stage. There's potentially gonna be the fortune teller again,
There's the cakewalk.
cakewalk.
I have new letters for the pretty ice cream lemonade, PVCs, but yeah, laminated ones, black and orange and.
We're not gonna do the teachers decorate a pumpkin, because we got one pumpkin last year.
Oh, boo, teachers.
So if you're really interested in Spectacular Sea Laurel, she'll get you on the committee and you'll know when they meet and we can help plan. Does that work?
Right, yeah, sorry,
It's okay.
Backdrop.
The backdrop. We are attempting to buy more bats, because we run out.
And Russell's is gonna come through with their typical donation.
Yes, Russell's
Jenna
already
reached
agreed
out.
to that. Yeah, we need cakes for the cakewalk, and anything you wanna make the cakes of. I think that's everything.
And the sign-up genius is gonna go last year.
Yes, yeah, we just took back, or Bridget's gonna take last year's and essentially, because it worked out well.
You get it to me and I'll get it passed out. Anything else? Good? Good? Okay. Membership.
Well, you already know, there's 236 members.
That's huge, that's huge.
I didn't have anything to do with
This
that.
time, that is huge.
The only question I had, and I mentioned to Derek, I'm not sure if it's changed, but, when we talked, there was about reaching out to businesses and trying to have them do business.
We
There's
still
no
want that.
option on the website to sign up for business membership.
Oh, we've always done
So
the
is it-
family membership,
Okay.
because it's the same price, because we don't want to jack it and have them pay more
I just wasn't
per
sure if it
member.
would be just listed
We
in
could
separate
add-
ways so we would know.
Could we
Because it's a
add a
business.
community membership at the $15 rate?
Yeah, I can add whatever we want.
So Derek can do that.
Okay.
Then there's no confusion.
Yeah.
Or they're like, well, I'm not a parent or a teacher.
No, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah.
There are
Yeah.
PTAs that make community members and business memberships ridiculously expensive. Like, they have that, like, they're like 100, like, they have different levels,
Oh,
like.
sponsorship, yeah.
Yeah, it's more, they turn it into a sponsorship drive, and I'd rather have like them provide lunch for teachers,
Yeah.
like, get it
Yeah.
some other way, to me is more,
Oh, we'll get it.
I think we all, the same amount just added to the drop down, so we
Yeah.
won't be
Yeah.
confused.
That's easy to do.
Word
We
in
can do that
community member
in
business.
a minute.
Yeah.
Sarah, just so you know, row 1 is info, so it's actually 235.
Okay.
Just when you look at the Google Doc.
Okay.
It says 236, but it's not.
yeah, there was a meeting pass, sorry.
It's okay.
No, I just added it before I put it
She was
down.
too busy,
That's an
she was too
important
busy
number.
embezzling funds.
Not.
I'm like writing notes.
Okay, anything else about membership?
Nope, everyone's doing a great job. If anyone has any, that's not a board member, who has a neighbor who's like an in-person in town, I wanna do a parent or a family that's members, that whole peer pressure thing, you know, Carol did a great job with the
She
video.
did, I love
And that was
that
very
video.
impromptu, I said, hey, sometime this week, so she just sat down and pumped it out. But if there's any, families who are not board members who wanna do one, or, you know, a community member who sends it as a business, they wanna do a video.
That'd be great, I could probably get us a community. She has a community membership most years, and I think we should get some students too.
Yes.
I think students are big.
Didn't do anything at parent-teacher nights, conference nights, they used to have a table or anything.
From parent-teacher conferences, typically not, because they're during the day and not at night, and people come running in from, like, I have 4 kids, so I literally run from conference to conference, because I'm in 3 buildings. So, and I try to put them all together so I can still work during the day, because my boss is doing that, because I'm a teacher. So, and I don't teach for this district, so it's hard for me. We haven't, because I haven't, and we've been normally busy dealing with fundraisers, so we haven't had the manpower for all parents.
Quick question, though, so it sounds like we're gonna do still the drive and dance from social, we're gonna do it, will we have the iPads, or like, we'll just do it on the phone, we're gonna do our phone.
Let's just have the thing.
We don't want to have some back and paper. I know we're trying to get away from it,
We're gonna have to have
All
some
I can
paper
say
for
is-
people who do the few that we have for cash, so we can get their information, so we can enter it. We should have some scrap cap and paper to do that. But I don't necessarily want anything that looks like a form, because then people are gonna be asking for that, which is gonna. I think we should have an iPad, some sort of device in case somebody has a dead phone, or doesn't have a phone with good internet connection.
What we,
and this would-
what we can do is we can add them as a customer on the website.
Okay.
Manually right there, and then we can take their cash.
Okay, so long as there's an option for that, for a place to
Are
get
you gonna bring
information.
the tools for that?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
yeah, I'll be there, so.
All I'm saying is we had big plans to keep everything all electronic and last year was
No,
on Monday.
I totally
Yeah.
get it.
And you were fish out of the fire by the fact that we brought paper, because it
That's fine.
went a little completely.
In fairness, though, it's pretty darn bulletproof. I mean, even if you look, even our mobile app, or our mobile page looks just as good as our physical page. Like the website does a really good job of formatting it down.
We have been in school and everything, I'm just saying that, I
Yep.
just have it some back and things with it.
No, it's a good call.
It's just, yeah, because it all, home day, we're like, yep, go to paper.
What do we want to call the company membership? Just a company?
Community member, I would call it a community member. Because then it's
I'll bring it
aunt,
up.
grandparent, anybody that is in a household and hooks it can be a community member. Yes,
How many members do we usually get in a year?
we, the last couple of years have been on the high 300s, because last year we didn't calculate things correctly, so we ended up having more members than we thought we did, but we didn't. So it's been the high 300s, low 400s. Last year our goal was 5, we didn't make it. By a lot, it was even though we put a lot of attention on membership, it was kind of weak. This year we have a goal again of 500. We're really hoping having nice things to say about what we do will help that. Because we only have stronger with more voices. Laurel is not here for reflections. Marianne's not here. Mrs. Lawyer, it's your turn.
So, I don't have anything really, I gotta stand up, I can't stand not seeing everything. I think the biggest thing on my agenda starting this year is trying to get some crews back in Memorial to clean up that courtyard again. Unfortunately, I don't really have specific days that I can dedicate on the weekends right now, because I've got the high school kid who basically rules our home as we speak. But I was thinking, it might be an opportunity for some of the, some of the kids and maybe some of the parents who don't work full days to do it after school. We had to tackle it a little here, a little here, a little here, and I think the same thing's gonna happen with cleanup. But I think it's important to do. I was a little disappointed that it didn't get used more last year, but I'm hoping if it's more consistent, that it'll start to be used. I know there's the draw too with the pond, that there's this whole thing, but that's different. That center area is an outdoor actual classroom, like do your math, do your reading out there, do something like that, as opposed to taking them out to do a science type thing. So I'm just trying to work out days that can be navigated and try to maybe see if we can get some people to sign up. Obviously that includes parties present, if anyone is interested in doing that. But I just need to figure out some days for the next week and a half, 2 weeks. I'm very, very, very limited because of the open houses and the ice cream socials and volleyball games and all that fun stuff. But I think after school might be the first place to get it started. I mean, if we can get a crew together on a Saturday or a Sunday, hallelujah. If the Boy Scouts want to help, whatever it is. But I think to have active participation from the kids in that school is important too. So first step is going to be hopefully collecting those brochures that went home the first couple of days. There was that spot on the brochure, the pamphlet, volunteer survey thing, and there was a spot that says, I'd like to help in the outdoor classroom. I need that stack, whoever has them.
Karina.
Whoever has them. Karina has them?
Karina has them, so I
Okay.
went out from the volunteer coordinator.
And those went out for all 3 schools or just the lower 2 schools?
So each volunteer coordinator does their own thing, they're all different colors. So Karina will just have your memorial
Okay,
one.
perfect.
So it's exactly who you
Perfect.
want. So you need
Okay,
to see
good.
her, there's a stack sitting in her mailbox, so I don't know when she's
Sure.
been over and how far she's through them yet.
Right.
Because
I mean,
they're
I think
starting
last
up
year
in
there was
year
like
2.
7 or 8 names.
But-
It may or may not work with the times, but at least it's, it's people that I can pull in for after the fact too. The one thing we never kicked off last year was any kind of commitment club towards the space. That would still be on the agenda again for this year.
Let me
but,
know, depending
yeah,
on,
that's
like,
where we just
day
have to start.
after school works for
Yeah,
you.
I mean,
might be
it's-
able to help like
Exactly.
help advise it because now I've got band kids, so.
Oh, I know.
stuff
Well, I went
there,
through the
so.
schedule this week. I'm like, oh, I can do that. No, can't do that. Oh, here's high
Well,
school
they're in band,
orientation
then
night.
you
Here's
could go clean courtyard.
exactly. Yeah, exactly. And that's what I mean. We might pull in some of the other. I mean, we could. I don't know how much volunteer time or volunteer hours the honors club needs. They're always welcome to go. I mean, that's free time for them at any given point. Builders Club, same thing. So if I get it out there,
We have no one for this making because I
I was
haven't
gonna say,
even talked about that
maybe
yet
they could
because
do a volunteer drive.
I'm so, no offense, done searching for people to run things.
yeah.
It's not on
overwhelming.
my agenda for the fall. I'm just
What
gonna do it
about-
this spring.
Mr. Harris, this kind of is gonna be your ballpark. What if you could get some of the kids to volunteer small jobs, but stuff that they could do during recess? So if they wanted to work in the courtyard on upkeeping it instead of out on the playground.
It is something that we have done in the distant past,
Right.
and it does work fairly well. It's just getting that staff member
Exactly.
or somebody to be that coordinator.
Constantly, every time that it's scheduled.
Yeah.
I mean, even if we just, the goal again was to have a garden club. I'll be first to say I was part of that. I didn't even have the time to work on that. By the time we finished the courtyard and school started, it was snowing. Kids aren't going to want to do a garden club during winter. And by the time it clears up, school's getting out. So it's a tough balance to maintain it. The biggest maintenance time is in the middle of the summer when nobody's here, to have it look nice for a month at both ends. Not to say it's not doable, because we killed ourselves for it. So it's not, even right now, after doing nothing for the past 2 grow seasons, there's not a lot to do out there. It's just really like giving it haircuts. That's really it. But I'm not going to be here forever. I mean, there's got to be somebody that, down the road takes the initiative, not just even PTA, but in the schools. If there's a club set up, then that, but you got to find the people who run the club, and you got to have the people.
Even if the kids wanted to do it like once every 2 weeks or something, just to kind of.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
There have been things over the years, and it's just, you're right, it's finding
Somebody,
the adult to be the coordinator of that.
Yeah.
And then also to really oversee those kiddos during lunches
Yeah.
or recess or whatever it is. Because, kids, tools, they have a blast, it's great.
Of
And
course.
watching them work, it's fantastic. And
Yeah.
Jen and company did such a phenomenal job. Was it last year?
It was
2
last
years
summer,
ago?
yep.
That it
Yeah.
did maintain very well.
Oh, yeah, it really did. I took a walk through it, I don't remember when it was, at some point pretty recently, and I was like, all right, it definitely needs a little weeding here and the lawn mowed, but I was like, it looks pretty okay. But by next year, it's not. I think that's the key too. So we need to try to find some kind of liaison with the school who wants to be involved, or a club set up, but again, it's gonna become something like KMAD, where nobody steps up the next year to do it. But I think if we leave the control, I don't know if it's something we can work with. I really don't know. You try to find the balance with who's involved in the schools with kids that are those appropriate ages. I mean, as obviously by next year, Cece's going to be in the higher school. I'll be as involved as I can on the level, but you're being pulled always away. And all of us now, the older board members, we have kids that are pulling us away, and I don't want to leave something unfollowed through with. It is important, but there's pieces. Obviously, the first part is always volunteers. If you have your kids in the school, you think they'd have fun, have them chat up with their friends, see if their parents might be involved. But I'll try to put something out once I can grab that stack of flyers, find out who already said they want to do something, have them do a little bit of the legwork finding people, and then it might be like next week I can do Thursday after school, who wants to come? For an hour. 4 or 5 people for an hour makes a huge dent in that, it really does. So it's not a lot of work, but it is a commitment, it's something we want to try to maintain all the time. Aside from that, I don't really have anything until Christmas, so I'm good.
Our colleague liaisons, do you have anything that you would like us to know that's going on over at your building, other than a new laminator?
Other than a new laminator, that's taken like the highlight of everything.
Anything cool and exciting? Yeah, it can be fun stuff too. It doesn't always have to be.
I do have something. I actually do have something. During the summer, I met the professor at MIT that he does the head of like some kind of atomic molecular something or other. So anyhow, long story short, he's a friend of our families because my husband coaches his son. But anyhow, this has given us an opportunity to really form a nice connection with him. And they have like just cutting edge material and things that they're doing as far as research. So what I would like to do is kind of streamline it and put it into a feed for the students at Colley, particularly for Hawk News. So if we get any information and research, we're going to try to like just really educate the students about the things that they're doing and maybe form like more of a connection with that. So I think that's pretty like fun and interesting and like just bringing their education.
My oldest wants to work for NASA when he grows up. He loves
Yeah,
something like
I
this.
went there and they were doing some really special stuff with students that they brought in during like a summer program. And the students were in the Massachusetts area, but there were like 8th graders and high school students that were going into MIT and basically doing research and giving it back and doing publications and like this really awesome stuff. So I just thought that was really cool. The professor there is all about sharing the learning he's offered to come here and to basically, they have grants specifically for students to go there for the summer and to do that. And just it happened to be like, I think I was at the right place at the right time sort of thing. And he's a really nice gentleman, Marcus Bueller. He did this atomic piece where basically setting vibrations to music. So it's really interesting, and I just want to share that all with the students because I think it's pretty incredible. So yeah, I'm working on that.
And thanks to those grants that you're giving all the grade level, for years, 6th grade always went to MFA to do the big Egypt celebration, but I mean, learn all about it and stuff. And unfortunately, it was just too costly of a field trip because we had to pay for the special, like people with docents, I think they called it walking around the Egyptian thing. We'd have to pay for the bus because we don't have any money for bus. So the trip would be $25, $30, and we just couldn't see asking every family to come up with their child for 30. So this year, and through some grant, the cost to get into it is free. And so we can use the money that we got from you to help offset the cost of the bus. So we think we're gonna be able to do $10. So that's what we're using our money for.
That's bad. That should all make us proud.
Yeah.
That's what we're here to do. So that's awesome.
So it's not all the teachers like it, but I love it because it's awesome, but it's like,
On-
it's an all-day trip and get back at like 5 o'clock.
Honestly, we put out something on our social media platforms this summer that said, if we asked what's one word would explain PTA, and luckily no one said Father's Day, so we did a good job. A second one I put out is if we had a magic wand and we could do anything as a PTA, like what do you want us to see us spending our money on? And the number one result is field trips. Hands down, our community wants to see our kids in the community and out of the schools more. Learning hands-on more, seeing stuff, being involved. I've had parents would literally say, I didn't take my kid to this place because we always did it as a field trip through the schools, so I thought they would go there. And it was like the New England Aquarium, so we don't bring the kids to the New England aquarium, so I was like, you should just take your kid, because it's not gonna go through school. It's not a historical field trip that we've done in the past. But when you go to school in Manchester, I can tell you, I took a couple of classes to the Newfoundland aquarium through the years, so it's nice to hear that we are gonna do something like that, so that's awesome.
I wonder if that signs that we were talking about that time in the grant stuff. You make a science fair different? A partnership with MIT might get your attention.
That would be fabulous. We'll see. I mean, it's already been submitted,
Yeah.
so.
Sorry.
But yeah,
Next
but
year.
if we do. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, I don't know if I could ask him, but I was kind of thinking the same.
What information?
And we don't have any other teacher representatives, any other general board members have anything they'd like public, this is like our public session, anything we want publicly to ask that we didn't address, it's a business meeting, so anything that you guys have questions on or wanna know about, there's no dumb questions, anything that we didn't cover here,
I got some.
okay?
I'm the reluctant treasurer in that this isn't my job, I'm just doing it. So if anybody wants to be or knows somebody who wants to be the treasurer, they'd probably be better at it than me. So let me know or someone else.
Derek's our IT guy, he really wanted to be VP, but we had no one step up for treasurer, so we had to, by default, you can't have a nonprofit without a treasurer. So, and we're not trying to guilt anyone in here, into anything, but get the word out, we don't have a VP, because he's in that position. We always could use more help and fresh ideas and extra hands, and at all levels, so. The only other real new business, we're so close to time, I'm doing good. I will let Sarah talk in 1 second, is, the state PTA is putting on a mini golf tournament / 9 holes on Sunday. It's the day after Old Home Day, so I really haven't pushed it, but I would be doing my due diligence, because if you're not aware, I'm not just your local president, I am your district director, or regional director, or some silly thing like that. I help 9 PTA units in this area. So for this on the state board, so I am putting that out there. If you want to come out on Sunday, it is in Derry, so it's not very far. It's at Brookstone. And they have the golf course, the mini golf course, all fun. It's like dress like your favorite superhero and come play mini golf. And the proceeds go to the state to help with us to run our conference and us to run our, we give out scholarships at the state level.
So it's just on the golf, mini golf, it's not.
Mini golf, and there's 9 holes.
Okay.
And it's like $17 to play. So, and it's, looks like, this is last year's flyer I'm going off of. Golfers look like $6 for mini golfer to play, so pretty reasonable. It is 10 to 2 on Sunday, come when you can, otherwise I'm going to, real quick before I join the meeting. Conference is coming up in November for all you board people and non-board people. If you want to come out to the Red Jacket and learn more about PTA and get some great training from people from the national PTA, come out. It's a great weekend away, get reduced room, reduced water park, so you can bring up the family, let the kids go do that, spend your day in classes. There's awards dinners. We are the host unit of for the year, because we got unit of the year last year. So we're paying back and we are hosting. So we need to be there. We need at least 3 people. Friday night at dinner, Saturday at lunch, Saturday night at dinner, and it doesn't include me because I'm a state board member, so I have other duties. We are coming up with centerpieces. I have already got Adam, he's coming, we got rid of the kids for the weekend, so we have another person. But we need people up there, and I need to get our paperwork in October to get the reduced rates. So I will be hounding you guys to see who's in. It's a really good time. You can just go up for the day if you want to too. North Conway is a haul for a day, but I do it all the time for hiking. PTA will pay for your meal. We do not pay for your hotel room, but we will pay for your registration because we are the host unit this year. We have to pay for your meals because I need you guys up there. A lot of great awards, national people, a lot of great training, expo fair for speakers and different clubs and different fundraisers to check out. It's a good time, and the guest speaker is always really cool.
What weekend is it?
It is November 15th, 16th, 17th. So it's not the weekend leading into Thanksgiving this year. You're actually the weekend in between, which is really nice because Thanksgiving is late this year. So if you have any questions about that, and I have all the paperwork here, I'm adjourning the meeting at 8:30. Thank you all. I'm here to answer any questions you have.
And if anybody wants to be on the haunted stage, any adults that wanna scare kids,